The new setting your own fare has started today in Palm Springs, California, Santa Barbara, California, and Sacramento, California. Now, the question is, do you as a rideshare driver want something like this coming to your shores, to your city, to your state? Or would you rather say, hey, you know what, don't bring this here, right? The bottom line is that the new rules in California force the company Uber and Lyft to treat you as an independent contractor, right? Which means you have to set your rates independently. Now, I see a lot of pros and a lot of cons in this new fare setting, rate setting, right? And there's just as much danger as there is opportunity. So when I was thinking, you know, what is the worst case scenario and what is the best case scenario before we get into the specifics? Well, let's say the worst case scenario for a lot of drivers who own their own car, right? You own your own car, you know, that's your office, depreciation, gas, etc., right? You're making the payments, whether used or new, you own the car. I see the biggest danger for these drivers, and I tell you what. If I'm a driver and I can pick up, and that's a fact, I can pick up a rental car, right, through the Uber or Lyft program at $250. I don't care about the car. I can put 500 miles on that car per day, right? The bottom line is I'm paying for the rental. I'm not paying for the wear and tear, and I truly don't care about the miles. So I will pound it with miles. This may be the best type of scenario, right, for a driver renting a car and setting their own rates. The problem is that these drivers will go to the fare multiplier, right, here it is, and probably try and undercut the market, undercut the rates, because they don't own that vehicle. They don't care about that vehicle. They just want to be driving, and they'll say, you know what, I'll take a 20% hit on that rate. I will actually work for less than Uber is currently paying, which is atrocious as we know it, right? But I will go under that because I want to be busy nonstop for the 5, 6, 7 hours. Why? I don't really care. I'm putting those miles on my rental car. On the other hand, the driver that owns the car, right, who is losing that trip, right, to a rental car driver because he is undercutting the market, is hurting. He's sitting there waiting for the trip, not getting the same frequency of trips because the rental car guy is undercutting the market. He can, it's not his wear and tear. And he is sitting here saying, it's not working for me, right? So that is the moment of danger in this fare game, right? Where it, you know, the fare, the F-A-R-E, suddenly does not become F-A-I-R, fare, right? And the market will truly dictate as of today onwards, because this is officially on, how this plays out. So it is important that these individuals, whether you are on a rental platform, right, come into the room, share how you approach this, right? If you're approaching it the way I think rental car drivers will approach it, right? Not their wear and tear. They're truly not going to care about the rate. They just want to stay busy. The car owner, come into this room, come into this live chat and share your feedback, right? Now, whether the law will allow this new testing platform is another thing, right? This may not be compliant with what California is seeking, right? That you can now, you know, there is a suggested rate that they put out there, a base fare, and now you can go down, you can switch off that surge, right? You can go 1 point, you go up in increments of 10%, you can go up 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, all the way till 5x, 5.0, right? But you can also go the other way, right? If now you suddenly hit the negative button, and let's say you go down 2 notches, 0.8, which means the regular 100% fare, which was already very, very low, now you're willing to do that at 80% of the 100%, right? You're going down 2 notches and you are hurting the market. Okay. So I have spoken to Uber managers in the past who've actually revealed a lot. And I want to run this scenario by you. Firstly, I am a firm believer that the company will give trips to the highest rated drivers first. Let's say you're 4.9 or higher. A pool of trips, whether there's 20 available trips, will go to the highest rated drivers. Why? Because the company does not want issues, right? But if there is such a demand, obviously the 4.9 or higher get the trips first. That's just the way I think they are running these algorithms based on a lot of screenshots that I've seen. If there are 100 people needing a vehicle and there's only 40 drivers around, the 4.9, in my eyes, the 4.9 or higher will go out first, get the trips first. If there's an overflow, those will go to the lowest rated drivers. I think that is their algorithm when I'm looking at this year after year, screenshot after screenshot. And that, again, is just my opinion, right? So that would obviously also come into effect here, right? Will higher rated drivers be in the mix first because of their algorithm, right? Or is it people that are willing to go, down 2 notches to 0.8 instead of 1.0, and they get the trips first? I could see this becoming a very, very big problem if rental car drivers start abusing this system, right? And I could also see a trend going in the direction of more people switching to a rental platform, offloading their car because they say, it's not my wear and tear. But because Uber and Lyft constantly change the game, there are no certainties in this formula, right? This might just be a test platform for 3 months. You now are thinking, you know what? I'm not going to put the miles on my vehicle. I'm going to offload my vehicle. I'm going to get into a rental vehicle, right? I'm going to go low, don't care about the miles. And 3 months later, 90 days later, they switch the system on you and they have the next system. We know that Uber and Lyft are constantly readjusting the algorithms, constantly bringing out, set, surge, multipliers, etc., going back to the old, trying something new, reverting to the old. You never know where you stand with these guys, right? So making a choice on a vehicle, should I go rental? Should I buy my own used car? Is a dangerous thing here because you don't know what they will bring tomorrow, right? So you have Uber out there duking it out with California, trying to find middle ground, trying to find something that will appease the state, that will say, okay, well, we see you are going in the direction of treating them as an independent contractor. We'll start working with you. I have made this prediction from the day AB5 was announced, is that the company and the state will have to meet in the middle, right? And that the people that live in fear and say, well, God, I don't want to be an employee, right? I don't want to be an employee. I say to you, don't live in fear because you will never be an employee, right? But you will also never be a true independent contractor. These people will have to negotiate. It's 2020, folks. This is not 1980, right? This is sign of the times, right? There's a tech revolution going on here. Things are changing, right? They're calling it a gig worker law that they're trying to create. This is what they're trying to hash out, right? A lot of the old stuff is archaic, right? Doesn't fit in today's times, right? So you can't really take those old employee models and laws and force them on gig work because it's not working. So they will have to rewrite the books, negotiate, and come into the middle where the driver, the state, and the company benefit. What I call a win-win-win situation. I've been talking about this for months. Everybody here needs to make more money, right? So the question is, does this system here, is this okay for the state of California? Is this okay for the state of Texas down the line or Florida? Because it's coming. It's definitely coming, right? And I'm not ignoring the people in the room. I will jump in there just now and read out a lot of your messages. Good morning to everyone that is stepping into the room right now. What I'm trying to get here is that I'm trying to make some suggestions how you can compete in this game or how you can lose in this game. If you own your own car, used or new, you're making payments, and you're going to get into the negative and undercut the market, you're going to find yourself in a situation within 6 months, right? You're making loss after loss after loss. Suddenly your miles are going up and up and up. Suddenly you're confronted with a lot of mechanical issues, and suddenly you're paying because you have been biting the bullet and setting and going undercutting the market. It will bite you so big later in the game that you're out, right? The market regulates itself. Those type of drivers will fall out the system. Drivers that'll say, you know what, I'm in here, I'm going to screw everyone up. I'm going to go negative. I'm going to go down 2 notches, 0.1, 0.2 down. I'm going to come in at 0.8. I'm going to actually undercut, work for less than the current rates. Mark my words. I will say it right now. Mark my words on what's today, January the 23rd, right? Mark my words that in 6 months' time, when you look at the mileage of your car, when you look at the depreciation of your car, you think that you've temporarily made some money, but you haven't, because that car now is worthless. You've put on so many miles because you've undercut the market, you've stayed busy, you're not making money, and you're left there with a car that is facing massive, massive mechanical costs, right? So think of that. Just think of that for a moment. If that is going to be your attitude to undercut the market, you're setting yourself up for a future disaster. Mark my words, the market will regulate itself. It will regulate itself on your car, right? In form of miles, in form of wear and tear. And suddenly, because you're driving around the clock more than ever, for less than ever, your big problems will come 6 to 12 months down the line. You're out the game. You're going to lose that car, right? The rental people, the rentals might go up, right? Because they're undercutting the market. But if you're smart and if you're working together, not as a syndicate setting fares, but if you're working smart collectively, taking care of yourself and not engaging in the greed, right? The pizza is all mine, right? I'm going to, jam this up here. I'm going to go plus, plus, plus all the way up to 5x. The only time I could see 5x ever working is on a weekend like Coachella in Palm Springs, where they're testing this out, where the low ballers will get the fares first. Those will go out the parking lot and be delivering the people, but the swarms of people are coming, and now people will go 2, 3x, 4x, 5x. Same goes for New Year's Eve, right? Super high demand. Same goes for Super Bowl. If this hits Florida down the line, obviously it won't be in Miami for the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time, but down the line, there will be the opportunities to go up to 4x and 5x on specific days for specific reasons, and you have the right to set those fares on the days because those are peak event times, peak vacation travel times, peak happenings, right? Holidays, whatever you may call them, and you can capitalize on those. But in between, you got to be realistic, right? I think if they say multiplier 1 going in at 1.5 is very realistic. 2, if you want to double that fare, feel it out. But the golden rule should be take screenshots. Listen to this. I'm going to say this 3 times. Take screenshots now of what the surges are in particular areas at particular times, right? So if you know that on a Friday or Saturday night in a busy downtown area, in a busy entertainment area, they are offering 2.5 surges, right? You can comfortably go there and a little bit higher, and maybe 0.5 higher. You could turn a 2.5 into a 3, and you're out the gate delivering that individual, right? If you are marking it up 3.5, and you see yourself wasting 10, 15 minutes, right? And you see yourself getting fewer trips per hour and you're looking at your averages after a 6-hour shift and you are making less than before, then you need to mark it down, right? Then you can't engage in the greedy field and say, well, I'm going to shoot for 3.54. I need to bring it down so that I'm back to my averages and start making a little bit more. You know what you make on average per hour, right? And you have to now compare apples to oranges. Here's my basket of apples. I know what I've been making consistently each weekend. I know what I make in a 5-hour shift. If I make these adjustments, right, 0.5 up or multiplier 2, am I making more money per shift? My usual 5 to 6 hour Friday or Saturday shift, I'm now dealing in the basket of oranges. Am I making more by working smart here in my market, knowing who's around me, knowing it's busy, knowing it's not busy, right? Am I making 20 to 30%? If you could aim for 20 to 30% more than your current average, you are doing well. But if you find yourself in the field of getting greedy, even on a Friday, Saturday night, you think you're going to go 5x, you think you're going to get it, you are just sitting there hour after hour. Now, after a week, your average has gone down. You're working counterproductively. You're working against your former numbers, right? My biggest worry, I think the biggest danger here is that rental drivers, rental car drivers that are paying $250 a week will see an opportunity here and say, hey, I can drive around the clock nonstop for 7-8 hours, right? Get 20 to 30% more trips in because I'm undercutting the market, and I truly don't care because I'm putting those miles on a foreign vehicle that I don't own. That is what I see as the biggest danger here. They always say the market regulates itself. They always say it's the law of economics that will guide this principle. The big question is the system even legal, right? Is this even legal? Will California even allow this suggestion, right? So don't go out there renting a car now, changing up, offloading your car, switching to renting a car because you think, hey, I'm not going to put these type of miles on my vehicle. I'm going to undercut the market. I'm going to get a rental vehicle. Who knows whether this model is around for 90 days? All I know is that, and this is through very, very reliable sources, that the state and Uber are hashing it out. Lyft, again, is flying under the radar, letting Uber do all the heavy lifting, right? So they are working it out now, trying to find some middle ground. And I've always been using this in each one of my videos. I said this. If you go to articles like MarketWatch, Wall Street Journal, they are using the term middle ground. That means it's not going to be this employee status, and it's not going to be true independent contractor status, right? It's going to be a new gig worker law where you somewhere meet each other in the middle. So it becomes a win-win-win situation. In the new formula, if you are an independent contractor, you can completely set your own rates. Uber will put a suggested fare out there. You go below it, you go above it. Now, that is what you call true independent drivers, setting your own rates. But it does, like I said, I'm repeating myself, it does set up a lot of danger, and it sets up a lot of opportunity. You have to compare your currents, right? Your current earnings in a shift. You know your shifts, Monday to Sunday, those 7 days. How do you drive? Are you driving 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, weekends 5 and 5? Are you doing this full time? You know exactly down to the dollar what you're making each week on average, right, per hour. If they switch it up, again, those variables change, right? If they have a flat surge, or if they bring it back to multiplier, you might find yourself making more on an average per week or less on an average. But you really have to compare apples and oranges here and start playing around with these multipliers week after week, taking a lot of screenshots, right? What did I historically make on that shift by going up 0.5? What do I historically make on that shift by going up 2x, right? What do I historically make in that third week by going up 3x? What do I historically make on that week by undercutting the one going down to 0.8, right? You now get to compare your current earnings to these future setting your own fare earnings, right? And then it becomes very, very interesting. What works best for you? Again, the danger here, nobody's talked about this. The danger here is rental cars, rental drivers. So we have Uber girl Paula in the house, Nicole. I also want to make a huge announcement here on February the 23rd. Okay, I'm jumping into the room right now. On February the 23rd, I will be throwing, it's a Sunday, I will be throwing a big event, a big party in Long Beach. I will be inviting down the Harrys, the Kevins, the Rideshare 411s, the Rideshare Trickster, Thomas Gibson, all of these YouTubers to this party, as well as all the drivers, LA, Long Beach, Orange County, you're all welcome. I will be sponsoring the food and the drinks. I will be sponsoring the DJ, and it's going to be a day event. It's nice and dark in this big, it's a very big auto shop, mechanic and electric shop that myself and my partners opened up. It is a certified Uber and Lyft inspection station. If you are a driver, obviously my mechanics are going to treat you far, far better than, you know, neighborhood prices, right? You're going to get really good discounts if you mention my name. But this is about a party. This is about us shaking hands. This is about us talking to each other. I also want to have a little bit of a platform and give these individuals a chance to speak, right? If you want to, of course, San Diego is invited. All of you are invited. Santa Barbara is invited. Ventura is invited. Whoever wants to drive down to Long Beach on February the 23rd is going to be a big party that I'm throwing. Hopefully a few hundred people will show up, right? We'll have a couple of speakers. Anybody that would like to talk about a topic, have the mic for 10 minutes maybe, talk about a specific topic, you can. Even if you want to talk about the pros and cons of AB5 at this party, you can, right? You might get pounded with tomatoes, right? Not going to be handing out rotten tomatoes, but you might get booed down or you might get thumbs up, but you get the mic. I want to make it like music, interactive learning, and also, have a mechanic talk about the ways to save money. A lot of people know how to save money on cars already, but we'll make it fun and we'll make it educational. And that'll be on February PM, right? It's going to be a day party. It's not going to be a night party. This takes place on a Sunday. Back to setting your own rates. The danger is that you outprice yourself, right? That is a huge danger here. But because we are offering a superior service, I believe a 5-star service, right? We also have to look at the rates of taxis. We have to look at our rates. We're still way, way below taxis. But if we start hiking up the rates to taxi rates and higher than taxi rates, will they jump over to taxis, right? I don't believe so, because I think we're offering a far, far superior service. So taxi rates versus rideshare rates could definitely play into the equation here. When people are looking at dollar for dollar, what they're spending on trips, and they're frequent travelers, they will look at that. The market's adjusting itself too far upwards. Will people suddenly think, you know what, screw this. I'll screw the 5 stars. I will rather go with a taxi, right? And get a better rate, because the rideshare drivers are just being too greedy. The market, my friends, will regulate itself, right? Will you actually be making money if you're constantly undercutting the 1x? If you're going down 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, will you actually be making money? Like, if let's say you go down to 0.5, you're actually working half the rate of the current Uber rate, which is already below minimum wage, right? If you're even willing to go lower than minimum wage, what happens in the long run, right? Are you actually making money? Well, if you're owning that car, you're not making money, right? You have to look at the cost of your car. If you have a rental car, could be a whole new formula. those type of things all factor in here. Big days, mark my words again. These are days to not to be greedy, but these are days that we can capitalize on this and make up for some of the deficits. I'm just going to say, Palm Springs, get ready. You have back-to-back Coachella weekends and Stagecoach weekends. You have 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. In those 9 days, you make more than probably in 2 months, right? So you have an opportunity here. I will definitely go up to Palm Springs for Coachella and really, really test the system, right? I'd really like to test this system. Do they open this up to Los Angeles drivers because you're up in Coachella or Palm Springs, or do they just make this available to Palm Springs drivers? Big questions. We don't know the answers to those yet, right? But in the face of the current law, I still think their system will not fly. I think the state will not be entirely happy with what Uber is proposing here. So Uber girl Paula says she just connected to Inland Empire drivers. That's amazing. Inland Empire. Salvi says, let's go, Paula. No change in rideshare pricing in Philly, reports YM. D Banks says, I might drive to Coachella and work those 3 days. It's completely worth it if you've never done Coachella. It's worth trying out. Moose says, taxi cab companies do not have a taxi cab app. Thank goodness. That I believe will change, because if you look at the CEO, Marcus Willig, who started out with the company Taxify, unifying those taxis, rebranding himself as Bolt, he will definitely find a way to incorporate the taxi drivers here in the United States if he opens up Bolt in the United States. So that there, you might swallow your words on that one, Moose. Not saying that you're incorrect. I'm just saying that any future leader who is looking at all drivers, not selfishly just looking at rideshare drivers as a company, will start looking at avenues of incorporating taxi cab drivers into a new model. Bolt has done that very, very successfully. Alfredo says, who's going to Coachella? You're looking at him right here. I will be actually working 1 week in Coachella. Listen this. My client does all the food and catering for the entire Coachella, right? He does all the food and drink stores. That's my client, does all the catering for the entire Coachella and for Stagecoach. I will be going up and helping him, bringing my son along, who's 16, and letting him work few hours during the day, serving, catering, and then also go party out with me at nighttime, right? We're going to go watch the busy hours, the good sets, 7, 8 p.m. till 10, 11 p.m. During the day, we're going to be working, assisting my client. The second weekend of Coachella, I'm going to be working and testing the system thoroughly. That is if Uber allows Los Angeles drivers to go up and test this multiplier. Again, this might just be available to the zip codes of Palm Springs or the zip codes of Santa Barbara or the zip codes of Sacramento. Just because you're coming up from LA, they send you an email, would you like to drive at Coachella? Yes. Just because you're driving up from LA doesn't mean that you might be in the mix for this. I don't know how this is going to work out, but Coachella is the first true testing ground of 0.8 right up to 5x. Mark my words. Everything will fly on that weekend because the demand is so ultra high. You got 120,000 party goers on one weekend. You have 120,000 party goers on the second weekend, and you have about 85,000 Stagecoach goers on the third weekend. It's busy. There is money, right? Misty Pugh says, I wish I'd lived in California. I'd work Coachella. You know, I tell you why Coachella is so fun, because everybody is on a good vibe. Everybody is partying. You partying with them, and you making money. And it's a really happy, D-Banks, what are you swearing around there? Expert's Choice, good morning. Expert's Choice, thank you for your great feedback in the last few videos. I appreciate that. Let's see. What else do we have? Nicole Donchuk now, do you still drive? I still drive. Right now, I would say my ratio is about 70 to 80% private trips with very, very high-end paying clients, and 20% I sort of split between Uber and Lyft, where I really try to capitalize on the destination filters, right? And here and there, I'll try and pick up a trip. Expert's choice, power. D-Bang says, sorry, they're not going to beat up my vehicle. Okay. If you're worried about the seats, if you're worried about your vehicle, I didn't see any additional wear and tear on Coachella to my car. I saw more bodies, more people in the car, higher earnings, but I didn't see more wear and tear on my vehicle. I did see a lot of miles on my car after that weekend, right? Because you're driving around the clock. You're going from Indio to La Quinta, Indio to Palm Springs, Indio to Palm Desert, Indio to Agua Caliente, Indio to Indio, Indio to a private party, Indio to an after party to a hotel, picking up at a hotel to an airport. I mean, it's crazy at Coachella, right? If LA drivers use the multiplier at Coachella, take advantage of it, right? The thing, the wording "take advantage of" it could have two meanings for one. Take advantage of means you're taking advantage of someone, you're trying to get an upper hand over someone, or the other meaning is you make the very best of it. I would rather use the terminology "make the very best of it." Don't take advantage over other drivers because you're going to screw around with the rates too much. Keep it real, but make a lot of money, right? Don't engage in the greedy field, because if too many people go into the greedy field, the market's going to regulate itself. If too many people go into the negative field and undercut, the market's going to regulate itself. Everything regulates itself. The question is, after all is said and done, after people have figured out when to go higher, when to go a little bit lower, are you making more money? Again, you're comparing your usual apples here to your new oranges. Are you making more money in this basket once you started mastering this and can set your own rates? On an average per week, knowing your shift, knowing your current averages, will you be making 10, 20, 30% more in the future, right? Here you have to get really smart, really creative to work smart. Not to outsmart others, but to work smart. Not to take advantage of others, but to take advantage of the situation, right? Dylan Seaman says, agreed. Uber Girl Paula says, you'd be careful doing cash rides. Never put a rider number in your Uber phone. Cash trips will be thrown there's a bidding war that breaks out at 11, 12 o'clock at night at Coachella. People will come up to your car, hey, take us for $100 right there. But you have to be careful here, because if you're an Uber and a Lyft driver and you start accepting those cash trips, who knows who's setting you up, right? Who knows who's going to be reporting you? But one thing I can tell you, with the TCP license, that is when I really start taking advantage of the cash offers or late at night, the after parties. I got 200 cash here, 300 cash here. The biggest weekend I've ever had at Coachella was driving in my SUV a few years ago from Friday morning, driving people up to Coachella and coming back on Monday to drop off people at LAX, to go back to Coachella and drop off a second group at 3 p.m. on Monday. I made $4,900 from Friday morning, 6 a.m. till Monday afternoon, about 4 p.m., $4,900. That's not bad. And I made great, great contacts that I still drive today. Even one of the former San Francisco 49ers, and they are in the final. That's great. I drive him once in a while. And so I've picked up a lot of private clients at Coachella. I treat them well. I always offer to pick them up from airports when they're in town in LA, if they want to go to meetings. Tim, I see Tim, the Maniac Miller in the house. So many products out there to keep your car interior looking spotless. So true, my friend. There are so many different products out there that will keep your car shining. If you are allowing someone with cigarettes to get in the car, sure, expect burn marks on your thing. But, that's the biggest no-no. You're going to completely shoot yourself in the foot if you allow smokers to get into the car. That's the only real damage that I could see to your vehicle, is if you allow a smoker to get in your car. But for everything else, there's cleaning products, right? And smell good products. Edward Brooks 69 says, what is Uber Bro that is coming February the 1st? Uber Bro? Uber Pro or Uber Bro? Uber Brother or Uber Professional? I'm not sure. Not sure which one you're talking about. So your input on this one, I am just making some suggestions on setting your own fares. I'm also talking about some of the dangers and some of the opportunities, which I mentioned right in the beginning. I see the biggest danger coming from people with rental cars who don't care about the mileage, who just want to drive all hour until they need a restroom. After 2 hours, go to the restroom, drive collectively for 7 hours nonstop, undercutting the market. Why? Because they don't care. They're throwing the mileage on their own vehicle. I see another huge danger for people who own a vehicle, right? Whether they are financing it, whether they bought it inexpensively at a dealership auction, undercutting, not making money, making less money than they currently are, thinking that they're making money because they're making it up in the quantity of trips, but then realizing 6 months later that they have put on a lot more miles on average compared to the last 6 miles, and now they're facing all these mechanical issues and mechanical costs. Big danger there. So you need to approach it the following way. You need to take a lot of screenshots right now, what the surges are looking like. Keep a log, right? What's going on a Friday, what goes on a Saturday night, what goes on a Sunday afternoon, what's happening in your city, what are the prices generally, what am I historically making on a Friday shift, on a Saturday shift, what am I historically making on a Wednesday morning shift, right? Now you start making your adjustments, slight adjustments, and compare oranges to the past apples. Am I making 5 to 10% more per week? Is my formula working for me? Is it going down? If it's going down, you need to readjust, right? You want to come out above your current average. Then you are winning. Then you are ahead of the game, right? So this will take a lot of finagling, playing with, figuring out shifts, when to adjust. Super high demand times, big events. Let me just say this. People want to get home, and multiple people taking an XL will sometimes not care if it's 5X because they're splitting the fare. So those will be the times when people will take advantage of it. Super Bowl, New Year's Eve, big concerts, big sports days. That's when people will be driving up the pluses. But on a Friday, Saturday night, how do I go in? Do I accept the regular 1X? Is somebody else undercutting me at 0.8? Do I go in conservatively at 1.2, 1.5? Do I try shoot for 2, see what happens? Got to play around with it, right? Rideshare girl Paula says the TCP is $800. It's the insurance each month, and she's 100% accurate on that. The insurance will cost you a lot of money, right? In one of my insurance videos, way back, I worked through a New York insurance who has a office out here in Ventura County. I've shopped around, they have the best rates. Go and look at that video, you'll pick up a good phone number. But generally speaking, the TCP will run $800 to $1,200, which will include the cost of your LLC, which will include the costs of the DMV, which will include the costs of the state, and you're looking at about 60 to 90 days to get your TCP. Once you have it, you have a license to make money, right? My money is made from private clients, from driving NBA players, actors, actresses, CEOs, musician bands, rock stars, rappers. I drive them all, right? Even the Kardashians I drive sometimes. Not to comment on that, but, I have a fare and they pay that fare. And 100% of that money in my Cadillac, whether I drive with my beige interior, my coffee brown interior, or if I drive in my black leather interior, depending on how I want to switch it up, even if I sometimes want to drive in one of the luxury vehicles, if I only have one client in the car, I set my fares. And the beautiful thing is, and I can tell you the beautiful thing is, these people pay for good service. They tip extremely well. I think I only have one client, private client, and I charge him on the regular fare who doesn't tip me at all. Right? No comment on that. Doesn't tip me. But all the other 99% of my private clients tip me well. And I'm talking $50 and higher tips per trip. That $50 right there is double paid for my gas. So let's see. What do we have here? Scott Tucker's in the house. CPCN is so expensive here. Wow. Alfredo says you must be smoking. Why do you say that? Oh yeah, drug testing. They'll call you up randomly, right? For drug testing. Keep it clean, Alfredo. I know Paula, she's a cool chick. Keep it clean. D-Bank says, I just need help getting my TCP. The loan people is wasting my freaking time. Here's an interesting when you say, I'm reading that sentence, and what I'm thinking is the following. When you are financing a car and you're registered as a regular vehicle at the DMV and you're paying your monthly financing, when you're going the TCP route, right, the state of California wants to see that vehicle registered commercially, meaning that you have to change the registration at the DMV from regular registration to commercial registration. Now, you go to your loan company and say, hey, I need a favor from you. You registered my car as a regular vehicle. I'm making the monthly payments. I need it switched to commercial. They don't like doing that, right? They don't like doing that. And the way around that, D-Banks, is you say to the guys, hey, it is my intention to keep on making payments to your loan company, but you have to work with me. If you're not working with me and switching it over to a commercial vehicle, I will refinance, right? And take that loan somewhere else. Someone else will be making the money. You will be paid off, right? Because there's a payoff amount, but you're not going to make the true loan money in the long run. That is how you leverage your power against a loan company, just for example, right? So you can't threaten your loan company, but you got to talk firm with them. Hey guys, you're dragging your feet. I'm losing money. I need this registered commercially. I see you are not working with me. I will give you 1 week. Give them a deadline. Deadlines are always good. I'll give you 1 week to switch that. I've been patiently waiting for 4 weeks. If not, I'm going to get this refied through another company, meaning your loan company is going to lose out. Work with me. Don't work against me, right? So I think I've nailed it as far as I just read what you said there. D-Banks is in San Diego. You're obviously trying to get your TCP. Dylan Seaman is in Arizona. What part of Arizona? For Set Media Group says, how much to rent a SUV from you for a while? For a while. Like, what is for a while? Be exact. Like, how long do you want to rent it for? You're going to be there in February. So if you could give me an idea how long you want to rent the SUV for. Ubergo, Paula, please stay away from the vape. Have you heard of popcorn lungs? Vape actually does even more damage than cigarettes. Creates tiny little holes in your lungs, right? The short-term effects on vaping are far, far higher than cigarettes. Cigarettes, you usually had a lot of side effects, 15, 20 years of smoking. They're already seeing far, far worse side effects from vaping after 3 or 4 years of vaping. The stuff is so toxic to your bronchial passages, to your bronchi and your lungs. I would highly advise anyone that values their life or wants to be there as a mother or father of the kids to quit vaping yesterday. That's just my input. For Set says 2 months. I don't rent out a vehicle for 2 months, and I tell you why, right? That's why I was waiting for your reply. 2 months, I'm not making money. I'm spending too much time with you, and I have to get you on the insurance. I have to get you on the registration, and to go through all of that for 2 months of rentals is not worth it. if you're here for a minimum of 1 year or 2 years, I would consider it. So hate to say no to that one, but I have to, right? I look at it from a business point of view. Alfredo, I got asthma from people who with secondhand smoke. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big anti-smoker, my friends. I'll just say that. I just don't like it. D-Banks, right, I told him 1 year. He said, no, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Dylan Seaman, Phoenix, $1,000 non-refund, $250,000 insurance while working. All right, I just want to be honest with you, Forset. There are some people that will rent out short term, like for $650 a week. I usually rent out my SUVs long term, $500 a week, and I rent out the Priuses for $175 the week. And in mid-February, I'll be getting another 10, 15 Priuses, and probably already been allocated because I have a long list, right? Let's see, what else do we have here? Guys, let's just recap this quickly. The dangers that I foresee, if you're coming into the room right now, the dangers that I foresee here is that rental drivers who don't care about the wear and tear of their vehicles, who are paying $250 a week, will say, hey, I'm prepared to drive around the clock 6-7 hours straight and undercut the market. Very high possibility of that happening. Very high possibility that this formula here will favor rental companies. And people who own cars, whether they're leasing who own cars, whether you're paying it off, you purchase it from a dealership, or whether you got it inexpensively as a used car, cash at an auction or through Craigslist, and you own your car, you outright own your car, and you think you're going to undercut at 0.8, mark my words, you're going to be doing more trips, putting on more. At mega events, I think you can go all the way up to 5x, like Coachella, make up some of the deficits, but you have to look at your current average, your current shifts, right? Your current driving hours, your current per hourly average, and compare it with your new weeklies by making small adjustments. This week, I tried out the 1.5 factor and I made X. The next week, I tried out, 2X on a few occasions. Most of the times I drove at 1.1, 1.2. I went up to 2. What was I earning in that week? Next week, you try out some formulas. You try out on Friday, Saturday night, maybe pushing it up to 3X, maybe at an NBA game, pushing it up to 3.5 or 4X. What did I earn this week? Now see if your weekly average is coming up. Take note of that week where you made the highest average and start working with that new formula, right? This is about working ultra smart. I don't think the veterans would have too much of a problem quickly figuring out how to maximize their earnings here, right? If you are a newbie, you want to learn all the ins and outs, meet me in LA, meet me in Orange County, meet me in Long Beach. I'll sign you up. I'll train you up. I'll get you going. If you did just join and you forgot to put in your code, I'll show you step by step. You join the Torsten and Michael team. If you are a driver and you need a rental, make sure you send me your screenshots. I'm looking for at least 500 to 1,000 trips, at least a 4.85 average minimum. And I will try and get you into a vehicle. If you're looking to buy a vehicle, even if you're looking to buy a vehicle in Texas or Florida or Colorado, I'm dialed in with this dealership auction network. We buy from other auctions in other states. I can see what cars are going for historically. I could see what you should be paying. Michael will help you source a car, no matter where you are around the country. He is a phenomenal buyer, right? We charge a finder fee for getting you the right car, but we have bought hundreds and hundreds of cars for Uber drivers in other states, right? In other states. And we charge a finder fee for that, but we will get you the car at the right price, way, way less than you'll ever get it at a dealership auction, at a dealer, sorry, way, way less than you'll ever pay for it from a private owner through Craigslist, for example. The dealership auction prices, which we get you, are like day and night. I'll give you an example. A used Suburban 2015, you could be looking at 40 to 45,000 from a dealer. We will get that car for $25,000. So they're right there. That's $10, $15, $20,000 savings, right? For that, we would, for sourcing that type of vehicle for you, we would charge $500 finder fee. Find you the right SUV or the right car at the right price. You come to us and say, this is what we've currently found, or this is what I've currently found in my market. People are demanding this for a Dodge Charger. People are demanding this for a Toyota Prius. What could you buy that vehicle for in my market? We do our research. We go online. We look at the mileage. We look at what you want to buy. You know, whether you want to buy something 80 or 100,000 miles. There are statistics in these systems that show us what these vehicles should sell for, right? If you can get it under that statistic, you're getting a great price. That price is usually 20, 30, up to 50% less than a car through a private seller on Craigslist, or definitely way less than you would be paying financing a car through a dealership, a used vehicle. So you want to shop smart, folks. Most of the money that I've made is by buying at the right price and selling at a higher price. Just like, you know, if you knew how the stock market was going to play out, you'd make a ton of money. But in the car game, if you know how to buy and know how to sell, you can make a lot of money, right? Francisco Martinez says, Torsten, please focus on Palm Springs. You're talking for what we need to start doing. You don't have to capitalize it. I've already spoken about Palm Springs. You've walked into the room very late. So, you know, fair game here, Francisco. Go back in the video, rewatch it, and you'll see everything about Palm Springs. We've spoken about Coachella in great length, and you don't have to capitalize it, right? You're not talking to a child, my friend. Just know that. Sam, there should be no more restrictions on destination filter numbers. Okay. All right. By the way, Francisco, Coachella, I don't know if you've ever driven in Palm Springs or if you ever have driven at Coachella. I don't know where you're coming from, whether you're an LA driver. You've given me very, very little about you, right? I don't know if you're coming from San Diego or you're a Palm Springs driver. You know, I've made some really good suggestions, and we've taken a lot of feedback from other Palm Springs drivers and other people that have driven Coachella, and we've put it, go back in the video, rewatch, and learn. You do live in Palm Springs. Okay, then I would suggest you go through that video. We're in 53 minutes, maybe somewhere at the 30-minute mark, we address Coachella and Palm Springs in a lot of detail, right? There'll be few opportunities in Palm Springs, very few, but they will be there to go up on the plus side, right? Generally speaking, Palm Springs, not the busiest airport. People, out-of-towners going down there, maybe more in summer, going to resorts, playing golf, not the busiest airport, right? And you have several SUV drivers duking it out. I know that for a fact at Palm Springs. But there are those certain opportunities, big golfing events, Indian Wells tennis tournament, Coachella weekend Stagecoach, where you can make a lot of money, right? Transparent 415, your opinion on using a VW Passat TDI diesel in good use condition, starting at about 10,000 used, beautiful car in my auction. Very, very good engine. You know, the VW Passat or the VW Golf TDI diesel engine is phenomenal, right? And that is a good price. I mean, the only question that I have on there, you say 10,000 used, and you say beautiful car, I agree with you, but what mileage, right? What mileage are we talking here? What mileage does that VW Passat TDI have? I personally, I'm a big VW Golf TDI fan. I drove one in Germany for several years. They go. Diesel engines are solid. Diesel price is so-so, right? Very comparable to gas prices. John Bauer, San Luis Obispo in the house. Slow in the house. Cool, good to see you here. Sam, that should be the next change. We are not Uber employees to control us. I'm trying to follow your chain of thought on that one, if you could elaborate a little bit more. Let's see, Michael Smith, we aren't setting our own rates. New system is another scam. We will remain slaves. Negative mindset. Change that wording, buddy. You got to get out of that. You know, you got to get out that when you say we remain slaves, you're talking about yourself, right? You don't put that brand. You're not putting that brand on me. I'm not a slave. Talking about yourself. You're projecting your own issue onto others, right? You got to get out that mindset, Michael Smith. That wording needs to change. Otherwise, you're going to keep yourself down in life all your life. You're going to be down there in the trenches looking at yourself as a slave, right? You're not, right? You're far more worthy than that. You're far more worth than that. You're far bigger than that. So a little bit more love towards yourself, positive words, shower yourself with some positive words here, and that already will change. I'll guarantee you that. But step out of that mindset, right? You're already living in fear that this will control you. This is a test, right? And maybe they're trying to, in some way, inject more control. But at the end of the day, if drivers work smart, correctly, they can control, right? This is a free enterprise here, right? You shouldn't fear it. You should embrace it, and you should make the best of it, right? As I said, there could be dangers in here. It might mean that people will offload the regular vehicle and go into rentals at $250 a week because too many people are undercutting the prices, and you find yourself driving way more for a little bit more money. So let's see. Dylan says, hell, I would change my license to Cali to come bust ass in your neighborhood. Still short on your specs, but it can be a goal. Hell yeah, rock and roll. You can. I mean, the real money that I make in this game is buying cars, leasing them out, buying cars, leasing them out. The return of investment is 15 to 16 months, and you got your money back, and then you start making cash, right? So you can make a lot of money in the rideshare business, right? Don't go in with this mindset that you're a slave to their rhythm. You have to always be one step ahead of them, right? You also have the power to start your own YouTube channel, monetize it, enroll drivers, etc. There's so many ways you can monetize this, right? Edward Jones, yeah, but I live here and I like it. That's cool. If you like it there and you're happy, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. John Bauer, Michael Smith, these changes are prompted by the government, so Uber can't manipulate us the same. Metal Gear 711, if Uber put AB5 in the upcoming election ballot to the public and it passes for AB5 not to be, what are the options or suggestions for drivers? Now, Uber and Lyft are already going out there. We've seen this. They're paying for signatures, right? Look at my Uber Pimp video. They will get the signatures. They will get on the ballot. There's no doubt about it. And yes, the public will vote for lower rates, keeping their super affordable rates the same, right? So the public will try and outrule the drivers here when it comes to ballot time, which is correct. But I don't think we even have to worry about the ballot. The ballot is a threat, a mechanism. Listen to me careful. The ballot in November 2020 is a threat from the company to the state that at some point we will try and overrule you. You know, if we lose in court, we'll try and win in the battle. So it's a direct threat to the state. The state says, don't really want to let this issue get to the ballot. Let's figure out a deal. This is why I'm saying a deal in the middle prior November 2020 that'll favor you, Uber, that'll favor us, and hopefully bring drivers to the table. For Set Media Group, this is when we control the prices. To a large degree, you're not in full control of the prices. There will be a lot of regulation setting in. You know, there will be the desperados driving for 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. That's going to happen, but they're going to see their butts 6-7 months down the line, and they're out because their cars are done, extra mileage, and suddenly they've been working for pennies and they don't have the money for Man, this timing out thing annoys me here. It catches up to them, right? They've put on so much extra miles. They're now facing all these mechanical costs, and suddenly they just don't have the money or the earnings to pay for those mechanics. So the market will regulate itself. Abstract Echo, good to see you here again. I display my art in my car to promote it. That's great. I loved it, and I really enjoyed the art pieces that you sent me. You sent me pictures. Beautiful stuff you're creating there. Sherelle Charlie, last time he thought I was a guy named Charlie. I married Mr. Charlie. Okay, I'm lost you there, Charlie. Charlie, and Charlie. Charlie's Angels. Always set your DF at least 5 miles past your destination. That is actually a very, very smart suggestion, right? Your destination filter 5 miles past your destination, so you can say, well, hopefully it'll definitely get me there. If I go 5 miles extra, it's perfectly fine. I can always go 5 miles back, but it'll get you closer to home, especially at the end of the day when you're working your way back home. Or drop you down in Orange, your LA driver dropped you down in Orange County at the airport, John Wayne, for some reason. Now you're trying to trek back to your house. Let's say you live in Brentwood, Los Angeles. I would then try and put in my destination filter, as Paula said, maybe for Studio City or Sherman Oaks. Good point. What else do we have? I'm on 16 likes. I'm not leaving until we have 30 likes. I won't settle for 16 likes. So I will go till we get to the 30 mark, because I do want to wrap it up. I do want to start enjoying my Friday. I would appreciate if I could get a couple of likes on the video. That would be awesome. And then it motivates me even more to make the next live feed, right? So Sam says, Lyft's autonomous vehicles partner Magna is done with self-driving tech, probably spent a lot and not seeing the returns, right? Rideshare 411, please take note of these days, February 23, that'll be the Long Beach party. Why am I doing a Long Beach party? So we can cater to Long Beach, we can cater to Orange County, San Diego, and we also can cater to LA, right? We're going to be doing a big Sunday all-day event. You'll meet Paula, you'll meet Dave, you'll meet Kevin. If they all show up, there'll be food, there'll be free drinks, and we will party. Garcia, we will party. Yes, sir. And guys like 411, you can put a 5-hour live feed, right? So all these other states and drivers can enjoy the party with us. There we are dancing, and Paula's dancing, and Garcia's dancing, and 411 is doing his break dance, right? And everybody from out of state, New York, can see how the Californias party. February the 23rd, my friends. February the 23rd. It's a Sunday. It's going to be a day party. It's going to be like from 10 a.m. till about 5 p.m. Food, drinks, music. It's a nice dark warehouse. We'll put some lights in there. We'll party it up. We'll party like it's 1999, Prince and the Revolution. You guys are going to be surprised how tall I am. D-Banks is either 7'2" or he's 4'1", one of the two. YM Smakovich after the party. Smakovich, Dustin, come down for the party. Bring your Smakoviches, right? Let's hand out Smakoviches. Why not? Of course, Dustin's welcome. 6'4". Okay. Calling yourself a giant now, D-Banks. You're a giant? Baldwin, professional Forex trader. What's going on in here? There's a lot going on in here, Baldwin, but you're coming very late to the party. You're coming at the 1 hour 5 mark, right? When the party is winding down. No, it's in Long Beach. I will announce it in a video. But February the 23rd, we're going to party like it's 1999. You know, the good old days, 75-25 rates back in 1999. Here's an interesting thing. Uber finally got into Vancouver after years and years and years and years of trying, right? They shut Travis down, they shut Travis down, they shut Travis down. Finally, one of the last big cities in North America, Uber gets into Vancouver. Welcome, Vancouver drivers. If you want to learn something about the game, reach out. I'll gladly help the Vancouverians or the Canadians. I'll help you. The other thing is, here's an interesting fact. Way back, when Uber tried to make its first move on Vancouver, Vancouver said no. The minimum fare would have to be like a limo driver, $75. This is way back. The minimum fares, $75, of which the city got a big cut. And Uber said, hell no, we're not charging those rates to our riders. We'd hurt our base. So that was way back. You can read the article. Fascinating stuff. Why Uber got turned down in the past in Vancouver. Today, finally, congratulations, Vancouver. Travelers are going to be able to grab an Uber in Vancouver. Class 4 license in Vancouver. Correcto. Oh, Uber girl Paula, no 80s and definitely ABBA. You know, I'm sorry. Then I'm definitely going to play 80s music and I'm definitely going to play ABBA. The winner takes it all. Chiquitita, da 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 da. I'm going to put money isn't funny. In Paula's world, I'm going to play all the ABBA songs for Paula. I'm going to play Duran Duran. I'm going to play Tears for Fears. I'm going to play Flock of Seagulls for her. I'm going to play the guy that sings Come a Chameleon. Come a Chameleon. I'm going to play all those songs for Paula on that Sunday, right? We can do a dance contest between 5 dancers. I would say it will be between Uber girl Paula, Garcia, D Banks, Dave the Uber slave, and Kevin, and maybe the Rideshare. 6 people doing a dance off, a Rideshare dance off. We're going to make it funny. We're going to make it hilarious. We're going to have fun, right? You want to be the DJ? Could be dangerous. What music are you going to play, Paula, if you're the DJ? You're going to play hip hop, rap? What are you going to play? We're going to play a little bit of everyone. Remember, Paula, we're going to have all age groups there. We're going to have from the 20s right up to the 60s. I'm going to tell you, that's 40-year range of visitors coming on that day. So you have to be a smart DJ and accommodate everyone. No basketball. Oh, D Banks just loves his height, you know, 6.4 basketball player. He thinks the party is about basketball. Ay, dude, you're living in dreamland. But I love your thinking. For D Banks, I would probably set up a hoop in the corner, and then we could maybe shoot for hoops or shoot for prizes. D Banks will clean up and win. Boy George, that's it. Boy George, come a chameleon, baby. For set, you got it. Boy George, correcto mundo. YM says, Paula Gina getting an 80s style Smakovich. And then Empire says, ready, Paula. He's challenging you to a dance off. I love it. We're going to have to make this happen. Inland Empire Selby Rideshare driver is challenging UGP to a dance off on February the 23rd. I'm going to be the mic, the MC guy. I'm going to announce it. I said, can Uber girl Paula step forward? Can Inland Empire Selby step forward? We have an official dance-off. That was the challenge on January the 24th or January the 24th. He gave her a challenge. I like it. Let's see. Passenger writes, are you available tomorrow around 6:30? 6:30 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. would be my answer. 6:30 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. I guess it could be p.m. Dudley Davis, Palm Springs driver here. Day 1, the airport with the new right to set the fare went okay for me, but I didn't succeed when I used the multiplier, but I understand why. Now, Dudley, Dudley, please send me a screenshot. Please. If you lock in one, send me a screenshot, right? Here, text it to, I will make a thank you video, 393-6318. Please, I want to know about your day. Dudley, you're one of the first guys there testing it out. You're at Palm Springs. You know your shift. You know yesterday's shift. You know today's shift is different. Let's compare apples and oranges. Let's look at your earnings and how you worked today. I'd be very interested in that. Did you go in with greed? Did you just go in to test it out? Did you go in at 1x? Did you try and push up the multiply a little bit? Like, your feedback is instrumental, amigo, friend, right? So Inland Empire is going to get the groove on. David Pham, can you recommend a good lawyer to sue Uber for everything? Oof, dude, that is like the broadest statement I've ever heard. Sue Uber for everything. Like, what is your reason to sue them? You'd have to email me. I need specifics, buddy. There's different folks for different strokes, right? You got to say how they hurt you, what they did to you. Did you lose money? Did they wrongfully terminate you? There's all these different factors that play in here. Ari Gutman, how are you? How's everyone? Good. Thank you for joining. David Pham, San Jose in the house. Alrighty, folks. 25, thank you. If we can get it up to 30, I'd appreciate it and make my Friday enjoyable. If we can get it up to 30 likes, that would be wonderful. I am just I don't know where you're stuck with your TCP, D-Banks. It sounds like you are stuck somewhere with your loan company, right? Got to email me and let me know where you are in the TCP process. Have you started it, right? And if not, you go speak to Alex at go speak to that guy and tell him Rideshare Professor sent you. Oh, you want me to call your loan company? You can't do that yourself? I could possibly do that. Send me your details, D-Banks. Love to help out a Rideshare, brother. Let's see if we can do something there. Robert Hunick is in the house. Just finished a 5-hour shift, 125 this morning. It's beautiful. That's an average of $25 per hour. Salute you, my friend. Well done. Was that in one of these setting your own fare areas, or was that a different city than Palm Springs, Sacramento, or Santa Barbara? Just curious. Just curious. JAG Executive Service Incorporated says, I recently got a second chance opportunity with Lyft. About 3 weeks ago, last Friday was my first day driving. My starting rating was 4.4, which was left over from 4 years ago. I drove 10 hours before. You better jack that up, buddy. Buy yourself eucalyptus oil. Mark my words. It'll drive your rating up. Let's see. February. January. LA market, west side mostly. Yeah, but D Banks, you have the LLC business license. Okay, that's a good thing. You save yourself some money there. But my question to you is, it sounds like you're financing that car, right? And the issue, it sounds like, that you having is getting it switched from regular registration to commercial registration. Your loan company is not working with you. Is that where the bottleneck is? Is that where the issue is? That was my question. Okay. So the issue is with the loan company. But have you started the TCP process? Have you started the process? Have you got the ball rolling? And at this point, you're stuck here. Financing. Sorry about killing your page today. You're not killing my page. Don't worry, buddy. All is good. That's tough. So you deactivated they gave you a second chance at 4.4 rating. After 10 hours, they cut you off. And it's probably because, what's the real reason for it? Does your car smell like smoke? What's the problem? The only reason you would have been cut off is if you weren't showing a higher average of 4.4. You weren't getting 5-star ratings in those 10 hours. It's a very, very strange scenario that I haven't heard of. If a couple of people lowballed you at 4 stars for some reason, you're out, right? They want to see uptrend, not downtrend. All right, my friends, we're at 11:20. I'm rolling out of here at 1 hour 20. I wish you a fantastic day. Thank you. I'm hit the 30 likes. David Garcia just walked in. Good afternoon, Professor. Just passed your area, picked up my last passenger in West Lake Village. Cool. Brought them to USC. The drop-off before that pickup was in Oxnard. How much did you make on that one, David? Byron, 8899, drivers may need a mask due to coronavirus. Yeah, it's getting pretty out of hand, this coronavirus. Another person in California, another person in Chicago just got identified having that virus. Your ending rating was over 4.5. Well, my argument with them to them would be, why did you cut me off after 10 hours if I managed to increase my ratings? I mean, that's your argument there. You need to go in and talk to someone. Thank you, Paula. Looking forward to the dance-off. Anybody else? Any famous last words? Robert Buttrey says, hi, I've been canceling rides under 4 miles. Had a few old school union guys give a thumbs up and told me to hold the line. Yeah, proud of you, Robert. Proud of you for holding the line. Jay Baby, ¿qué onda, professor? Good video. Muchas gracias, señor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate. Oh, I got 2 likes from Cheryl Charlie. One on my phone, one on my Roku, one on my Roku, one on my phone. I got 2 from you. Much love back to you, Charlie. Thin Beam Image, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Rideshare 411, thank you. So February the 23rd, Sunday, we're going to rock the house. Going to be a house party for the house. Party like it's 99, Long Beach, California. February 23, February 23. Make note. All live streamers, 411, everybody come to the party, and Paula stream, everybody stream, everybody stream, everybody dance off, everybody stream, live stream, live stream, live stream. Sherelle. I said Sherelle, and it's actually Sherelle. I will never say it incorrectly again. Sherelle. Did I say it correctly now? Sherelle's in the house. I wish Sherelle an amazing day. See you guys later, D Banks. I will, brother. You have a good one. You have a 619 number. Please hit me up on my number. Your number is way back now already. So just text me at my 480 number. Text me. David Garcia, $92, 2 rides in 3 hours. That's an average of $30.70 per hour. Well done. Money isn't funny in the rideshare world. All the things that I could do if I had Dara's money. This isn't funny in a rideshare world. Type your number. Say my name. I'm acting kind of crazy, getting quite lazy. Say my name. Giving you my digits. 480-393-6318. There we go. Broadcast. Text me on that one. My friends, thank you. I'm on 33. I'll take it. 33 likes. I'll take it. Thank you. Ziggy 007. Like those shades. Looking good, my friend. You guys have yourself a splendid day. Alan Mills, have a great day. Paula, have a great day. Rideshare Dan, have an amazing day. Shirley, have an amazing day. D Banks, have an amazing day. David Garcia, have an amazing day. Dylan, have an amazing day. All of you. Alan Mills, have an amazing day. Robert Buttrey, have an amazing day. It's time to start a new rideshare service. We've got to get Goat going, and we've got to get Bolt into the market. We've got to mix it up. Ed Mercado, last week I had calls for pickup in Orlando, Florida, but I live in Orange, California. Holy moly, you got a pickup for, I wouldn't drive out there, Brenny. 2,000 miles. Not worth it. That's the weirdest call. Got a pickup for Orlando, Florida, and you live in Orange, California. That's a serious glitch. Ubergo Paul is firing off tons and tons of missiles. Be safe out there. Jose Hernandez needs coffee. Jose Hernandez, I need that coffee, brother. You got 4 cups of coffee. If I could have 2 of those and you have 2, that would be a sweet deal. Whether it's cappuccino, latte, I would take anything right now. Coffee is like crack for me. Ed Mercado, they saw me near them on the map. Geez, like, that's weird. For Set Media Group, you have an amazing day. Ziggy 007. Boom! You guys have a great day. I'm off to walk as an Uber buddy. Good. Leave those passengers behind. Under 4, we ignore. At 5, we drive. Under 4, we ignore. At 5, we drive. If you're trying to get a $3 trip, get yourself a walking buddy. Start walking, right? Walk with your dog. Walk with your partner. Walk arm in arm. Walk with an umbrella. But you will not drive with us for under 4 because we ignore. Very simple. Such a Shirley. I was in Hollywood and I got a call for Acapulco. It was a full package, included 5-star hotel, airplane fares, everything included. Uber sponsored. I go to Acapulco. Oh, look who walked into the house. Now, guys, this guy, the rideshare chaplain, God bless you. Pray for you and all rideshare drivers and for AB5. Do me a huge favor, guys. Go to his website. Click on his link there right now. Check out what a great niche the rideshare chaplain. It's the real deal, right? He worked in the army. He worked in the police force as a chaplain. He's told me his story. His videos are powerful. He quotes straight, texture from the Bible, etc. Whether you're religious or not religious, I truly think there is a great space for the Rideshare Chaplain, injecting some amazing spiritual energy into a channel, right? Go and check him out, whether you like his material or don't like it, but I'm telling you right now, 95% of the people will like it, right? And go and subscribe to him. He's a new channel. We rally around him. Go right there. Subscribe to the Rideshare Chaplain. He deserves your support, right? Help him, lift him up, get his subscriber base up so he gets more and more views, and he starts getting this message out. He is very, very laser-like when it comes to interpreting what Uber and Lyft are doing. I love his message. I love the way he articulates his message. He has great topics, and watch his channel grow, right? I'm putting money on this guy. And I did make a video for him, and I did give him a nice little boost, but get behind him, lift him up. You know, those are the people that deserve our support, because he's truly putting in the time and the energy and bringing his story to the Rideshare community. And you got to say to him, amen, bro. I appreciate you for dropping in. Rideshare Observer, since Uber is reneging on the minimum trip fares at LAX, will ask passengers upfront how much they're paying. And if it's less than $37 during peak times and $17 at off-peak times, I won't accept them. Good, standing up for yourself. I just hope that the rider can't have any repercussions on you. Can't really. Wonder if they would be able to complain about that you dropped them and that you asked them for their fare. But I like the fact that Rideshare Observer is standing up for his worth, for his minimum. That's great. Shirley says, I stay away from religion and politics in my car. I just agree with my passengers if it comes up. I agree with you on that, right? I agree with you on that. But if you have the expertise like the Rideshare Chaplain, who Paula is trying to make a statement. She's saying the same thing 3 times over and over and over and over again. Okay, we got it. Oh, yeah. What is Paula doing? She's flooding us. She's flooding us. Buffering. She's buffering. You better be buffering, because I'm going to otherwise have to buffer you out, Paula. Because I call that spam. Oh, Lord. Please stop that. Buffering and buffering, suffering and suffering. Brett E, I tipped $3 on a $15 trip. That's good. I appreciate that, Brett. That's a great rider. That's nice. That's nice of you. $3 on a 15. I would give you a huge thank you. I think that's very kind and generous of you. That's more than what the average person does. It's a 20% tip, and that's very, very kind of you. So here's for Brett, a rider that tipped $3 on a $15. Those are riders we appreciate, Brett. We appreciate any tip from a rider. And thank you for sharing that, right? It's refreshing to see a rider in the channel who has something to contribute. It's great. Eric, in New York City, no new cars or drivers. Alan Mills says, Geo called you out what you said about the Chicago market. What you say, yo. Yo, what you say, yo. Firstly, I don't engage in ghetto language, yo. And Geo can say what he wants. I mean, when he gets my numbers, when he gets my subscribers, when he gets my income, I'll talk to him, right? But until then, you can bark. And I just called out exactly what the rates, what Chicago, that's all I did. Fact, read the numbers, That's it. And I asked a question, who's picking up that tab? That's all I asked. So my video there is factual, Geo. If you want to bend or twist or spin my video in another direction, you sound more like a politician than a driver, Geo. Good luck to you. But can't smack me down on that one, bitches. Not going to work. So, boom, flatty. Yo, yo, yo. That's how we go in California. Love Deep Sharma, at 4 we open the door. No. We don't open the door at 4. 4 we ignore. At 5 we open the door. At 5 we drive. Great. Uber Girl Paula, you said the same thing about 27 times. Right. Flipped it over. So do you think riders are going to be upset over the change? What, the change in Chicago or the change in California? Be a little bit more specific. Rideshare Dan, $5 fee for airports, Navy Pier and McCormick have been in place for years. Riders pay the fee. Okay, I'm just putting it out there what was circulated recently, right? That's it. The fact is, Chicago did announce a few months ago that it was hiking the rates. I also believe there are also some 10-cent increase. I remember seeing the figure 10 cent and $1.13. Like, I think I read it out in the video. In California, with setting the price, I would suggest going through the video. I've really talked about the dangers on fare setting and the opportunities. It's all in this video. It all depends what essential oils you're using. Love Deep. There's hundreds of different essential oils. Jao Medeiros, is it good time to be a Uber driver in California? I'm moving from, well, expect very high rentals and your cost of living to go up. Let's start with that. Boston to Cali should be about the same. Well, are you putting it on the vents? Eucalyptus, where are you putting? How much of the eucalyptus oil? Can you smell the eucalyptus oil? Cheers, welcome to come and stay here in Calabasas for a night and enjoy a fun evening in California. You know, as much as Gio likes to hate, we'll still send out the Cali love. He's always welcome in California. If he needs to be picked up at the airport, I'll have him picked up. Right, but you're not going to get anywhere if you keep on hating and bashing Gio. It doesn't get you anywhere. It's something else is going on that's driving that. Negativity, hatred, anger, something else is going on. There's something deeper that's maybe disturbing him externally. Other factors are playing in on that one, right? Could be, you know, people go through a lot of different things. People go through divorces. People are in custody battles over their kids. People are in arrears in child support. There's all these external factors that sometimes fuck people up, right? So I'm not saying that's Geo. Definitely don't quote me there. But I'm saying when you unleashing anger and hatred and not showing the love to the rideshare community and keeps on bashing the rideshare professor and mocking his accent, there's something else going on. Let's talk about that. Maybe he wants to make a video about that, talk about that part, right? Or maybe he wants to shelve it, put it in the shelf. I don't know, but there's something else there. I feel my gut says there's something beneath the surface, right? Something else. I don't know what it is. Jealousy, anger, what is it? I'm not quite sure. But I don't have to buy into it. I've got my lifestyle, my children, my business, my fun, my responsibilities, but my life. And that's all I care about. I don't care about Gio's life. Right? Gio can do what the F he wants to do in Chicago. He can run around naked in the streets or go screaming through the airports or shouting at those people at the Uber lots or branding people. I don't care. He can do what he wants. Paula Zamorska says, I can't stand New York either. Paula Zamorska says, people who hate on others need help. There's usually something else is going on. That's the bottom line, right? You got to get down, peel the onion, peel the onion, and get to that center core and find out what's really going. And then you start working on that as an individual. Sometimes you need a lot of self-love. Sometimes you need to connect with your inner child. Sometimes you need a lot of work. You have to do some work, self-growth. You have to do some work. I'm not saying geo. I'm just saying in general, people, when there's like anger, rage, or judging, or pointing fingers, or bad mouthing, usually there's something way down there in the onion. You got to peel back the onion, peel back the core, and find out what's going on, right? Patrick Sargent says, I would suggest 30% on fares and see how it goes. I think if you can go up, from 1.1x to 1.3x, I think that's a very fair and reasonable start, Patrick. And then you start seeing how that works for you, right? Are you getting fewer rides per hour but making more than average dollars? How does that work for you if you start going for 1.3? Good point. You try that out for a while. Exactly. That's what I call working smart. Right now, you get to compare the 1.3 oranges to the 1x apples. What does that equate to after 5-6 hours of driving? Chicago, nothing but love for Chicago from California. And I'll send you some of our good weather. We're in the high 70s, right? So hopefully, maybe it's the cold that freaks people out there. Maybe it's the temperature that changes people, right? Beautiful sunshine over here. Come down. Shirley says, we sometimes have to play Uber psychologist. It's just being a good listener. So true. So accurate. If they want to talk, listen, give them the feedback, right? I sometimes say, do I have permission to be honest? That throws them back, which means I may say something that they don't like, but I ask for permission first. I said, do I have permission to be honest and respond to your question? Yes. Okay. Then they give me permission and I say it as it is, right? Not gray zone, black or white, right? We want clarity. Rafael Castro, is it still good to drive for Uber Lyft in the DMV area? Rideshare Chaplain, I've requested and ... Rideshare Observer in LA 1.3 is what we need just to get what we were paid before that last pay cut here. Yeah, it's time for me to get busy. It's getting on to 12 o'clock. This has been a long one. 1 hour, 38 minutes, went way beyond. But we had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys get out there tonight. I think so. This is like a quiet time when we're gearing up, psyching ourselves up for the Friday night, right? Am I right or wrong? Sort of like getting ready for the Friday storm as we go up. It's usually a very busy night. So, enjoy maybe another hour or two of relaxation, and then the serious stuff sets in. Alan Mills is geo angry. He got deactivated from Uber. I don't blame, and he's right. He's absolutely right about being angry at Uber because they hit him with a ridiculous and wrongful deactivation. I even made a video backing him up on that, where I said they made a stupid error by deactivating him in Chicago, right? Why would you want to deactivate a veteran in Chicago who is teaching the people the ins and outs of Chicago, right? I can't speak about Chicago the way he can. I definitely can't. He is the Chicago deal. And then they go and deactivate him. I made a video about it, got a lot of views, and I gave him my genuine support, right? And I think that Uber made a fatal mistake there, right? And a lot of the upset and anger could come from that. You're absolutely right. The Rideshare chaplain, I've requested an appointment with Senator Tim Scott. Wow, that's great. Of South Carolina to find a way to bring AB5 to Amsterdam. Hopefully meeting will bring a great results for drive. That's amazing, my friend. Document that, make a video about that. It's fantastic. Ruger the Cat says Uber Girl Paula needs 3 more subs. Okay, everyone go to Uber Girl Paula and sub right now. Right now. Right now. Peppermint oil and eucalyptus oil, you can't lose. Expert's choice, sorry, tuning in and out. It's busy over there, that's good. Guys, apparently Paula needs 3 more subs, go there. I'm on 40 likes, I'm happy, my Friday is gonna be good. We talked about the pros and cons of setting your own fares. I appreciate you guys. I wish you nothing but a great weekend, and please, please, eye on the road, drive safe. Be careful if you're putting in the late hours. Always be on the alert. Know what's happening around you 360. If you've got drunkards getting in the car, are they going to throw up? Aren't they going to throw up? You sort of have to be the mother, the father, the psychologist, the psychiatrist, everything all wrapped up in one as a driver, right? Senator Bobo just worked in Uber drivers need to be careful. The virus in China. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't start spreading the coronavirus. They say it came from a snake, comes from snakes in that one region. The virus was contracted from snakes, right? Expert's choice says he will sub in a second. So Senator Bobo, very good point, says be careful at the airport pickups. You know, might need one of these, where are they? Somebody said, I just wanted to use, you know, even these are like nursing ones, whatever, they give you these at the hospitals. You know, even this might be, I actually wanted to show this, you know, if you're certain areas exposed, possibly exposed to that virus, has been reported in Chicago. Be careful. You may want to get one of these, right? All right, amigos, have a good one. Have a great weekend. I wish you nothing but the best. Go out, make money. Enjoy.